If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Winnett, and I'm joined now by Jason Groh of the Redhorse Theatre Company.
That's great. Hi, Jane. How are you today?
I am well.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
I am very happy to have you on, and I'm always excited to talk to new not-for-profits. So this is exciting to talk to you, because this is your inaugural season, right?
It is very much so.
So talk a little bit before we get started about Redhorse Company, Theatre Company.
Sure. Well,
how did we get that name?
Yeah, so it comes out of, so I'm a graduate of DePaul University, and for our senior year, we had our senior seminar at the Red Lion Pub. And the Red Lion Pub, as legend has it, is where the Chicago Shakespeare Theatre Company got started. So,
okay.
On the roof there. So, and I love old British folklore, that kind of stuff. So I thought,
like old British folklore.
Right, exactly, yeah. Right? So I thought, you know what? When I was trying to figure out a name for the company, I thought, and plus I loved graduating from there and just my experience there, I thought, you know what a great way to kind of give a little homage to that. So I thought maybe it'd give us a little good luck. We'll see.
Okay. So now what motivated you, Jason, to start the theater company?
Sure. Well, I've been wanting to do it for a very long time. So I'm actually a pre-law major, and I'll never forget writing my senior thesis, and my advisor was like, well, what do you want to do when you get out of here? I'm like, I want to start a theater company. She's like, wait a second.
And why are we studying law here?
Right, exactly. Why are we doing this, right? So, but, it's something that was always in the cards for me. I started out as an actor here in Chicago. Got to do some pretty great work. In fact, I got to, one of the biggest shows I did was on the stage with Lyric Opera with Renee Fleming. Got to do some work with her.
Nice.
And just had a great experience performing here in Chicago. But, stepped away from it, had a family, pursued that, get a career, did that, And then when the time was right, felt like I would want to come back to it. So, it just seemed like it was good timing. It seemed like it was many years in the making, and, went ahead and put it together.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So now this is the first season.
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about how your season started and,
sure.
and what we're to be expecting, what we've already seen and what we're to be expecting.
Absolutely. So, I got started, when we got this, we started our first show back in March at the end of March with Hairspray over at Wentz. But the theater company actually started about a year before that, just kind of getting it together and deciding what it is that we wanted to do. And entering into this, I run a company outside of this, and, I had to kind of learn as I went, building that company. And I didn't want to do that again with the theater company, especially with a not-for-profit. I wanted to find somebody who could help. So I sought some advisors, and I sought a guy who actually produces on Broadway to come in and kind of do some consulting on the company to get it started. And that was very helpful. So him and I actually worked together for a matter of months, really kind of building the company piece by piece, block by block. And then finally decided upon Hairspray as as our first show. We thought it would be a great show. I believe it was NBC. They had just done it.
Right.
So there was a lot of buzz behind it. We can get a lot of young people involved. And so we just thought that would be a great, first show for the season. So I thought it would be interesting to do it as a concert setting first, just as a concert, of course. But that turned into something bigger, which ended up being a fully staged show in Wentz. So the reason why we picked Wentz...
That's starting out pretty big.
Right, exactly, because we wanted to do something different. The whole goal with Redhorse is to always kind of challenge the expectation. Whether we achieve that or not is a whole other thing.
Yes, okay,
right?
Good to have intention.
Right, exactly, right. But that is the intention of the company. So, Hairspray, brought a little bit of culture to Naperville, which I thought was very important as well. Multicultural cast, which I thought was very important too. Where
did the cast come from? Talk a little bit about your cast.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
We got so lucky with that cast. We were so fortunate. I know two of our actors were doubling with us, and they were doing Jesus Christ Superstar over the Paramount. So they were bouncing back and forth between our show and theirs. They were in rehearsal, and they had actually come together. Hairspray, that cast, some of the people in that cast had already done it. It was performed somewhere up north before, but my director said, hey, if you want to do Hairspray, I've got a great cast for it, and a lot of these people can come back and do it. So we brought some of the people back for that. We also cast some new people as well, and we just were very, very fortunate. It all
came off.
It all came together, and Wentz was, they were awesome to work with. It had its own set of challenges. We were in a concert hall trying to do a fully staged musical, which is a whole other situation. I think we had some 37 individual microphones on stage, trying to get them over the orchestra because it's very loud in a concert hall because the acoustics are very good.
Absolutely.
And so that was a bit of a challenge. And, these little things that you learn along the way that make it exciting and fun.
Right,
It's never boring.
right. A little bit of trial by fire.
Exactly, right. But, it's all part of the process.
So now you've got another show coming up, The Producers.
We do.
Okay, so how did we select that,
Right.
and where are we staging that?
Yes, so I wanted to do something fun. Hairspray was very, multicultural. Let's get it started. Let's make a little bit of an impact. The Producers, I just wanted to be fun. It's summertime. Let's have a blast. So The Producers is very tongue-in-cheek. Mel Brooks. But that runs August 18th through the 20th. So it's coming up here pretty soon. That will be at Pfeiffer Hall.
Okay.
Over at North Central, and it's great. Just a lot of fun. We're in rehearsals for it right now. We actually just started rehearsals for it. But we're looking forward to getting that together. And then we conclude this season with what I'm really excited about, which is La Cage aux Folles.
And one of my favorites.
Yes, and for those who are not familiar, if they've seen The Birdcage, they're going to know this show.
Yep.
And again, expecting the unexpected. I mean, it's not a show that's done very often. There are drag queens in the show, which is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of big tap numbers, a lot of excitement. But it's such a great show about love and relationships and understanding, that really falls into, I think, the culture of this theater company and what we're trying to do. So The Producers will be a lot of fun, and I am looking forward to that, but I'm really looking forward to La Cage, because that's going to be very special.
And that's coming up when?
That's going to be in January.
Okay.
And that will conclude our season.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so as you kind of look to the future, are you seeing that same, assuming that The Producers is successful and La Cage is successful, that you would continue on with about 3 shows a year?
Absolutely, and a fundraiser. So right now we have a fundraiser scheduled for the spring. We haven't announced the date on it quite yet, but it will be at Wentz.
Okay.
And that's going to be exciting too. I mean, the fundraiser is very different. We're right now we're in the middle of writing it, so we're putting together essentially a lot of like rap music tied into musical theater music, which might not seem doable, but you can easily take M&M's Without Me and mix it into Guns and Ships from Hamilton and put together this great montage of work. Let's clean it up a little bit, of course, with Eminem, but nevertheless, you can do it. We're taking some heavy metal and fusing that into like School of Rock, which just was on Broadway. Right. So we're taking these different fusions of work, like we're opening it with Fall Out Boy, some music from Fall Out Boy, and then tying that into music from like Les Mis, or going from Nine Inch Nails into One Night in Bangkok from Chess. So lots of different ways to fuse this kind of music together to show that even though, because I think with musical theater, a lot of people feel like it's work from, a lot of this is from like the 30s and 40s and more jazz-based, but you can take modern music and be able to morph it and mash up into, or fairly modern music, into numbers that are popular today and from the past.
So that'll be the fundraiser to hopefully support season number 2.
Exactly. And we already have our first show, but I can't announce it quite yet.
That's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Exactly.
Well, Jason, we are so appreciative of you coming by. It's always exciting to launch new arts things in Naperville. We've got wonderful facilities that you've been using over at North Central College, and we wish you the best with The Producers, and we're excited to see the drag queens come in for La Cage. So best of luck to you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. If you would like to learn more about this new theater company or purchase tickets to The Producers, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break for a few short messages, but don't go away. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.